Hello and welcome back to Disco Elysium. This is episode 6. Last episode we didn't die, which is a bit of a shocker, but it was a good episode. Pretty much in summary, right now we have to enter the basement where there might be a witch to store the body we just performed an autopsy on in a fridge that looks like a bear. If that doesn't bring you up to date, then there's no hope for you. So let's head on down. We can pull the curtains over now because we spoke to the book lady, and she said also, you see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the beck, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen. A small terrified escaped from Palisance as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. So pretty much she believes that there's some sort of witch or something living in the chimney. We have possibly stretched the truth a little bit and said that we are paranormal investigators. Keep in mind, we have no memory, so potentially, you never know. Let's have a look. Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers, that's fine. A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Looks like a Guillemot le Million, that hair poster. How are we going with this one? Oh yeah, we did that one. We're working on this one. Aces high. Yeah. Alright, let's have a look. The reason I clicked on that is because I remember there was one Guillemot le Million, which we haven't done yet. So, a heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Pain threshold break. No, we've got the key. I've not been doing well with these chance things. So, water door. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides open, letting a draft of cold air into the room. Let's go in. I would say there's no such thing as a ghost, but I don't know this universe. Oh look, Kim wants to say something. Hello, Kim.
What is this place?
The lieutenant says it's dusty training equipment. It's the Netherworld. Looks like a gym to me. Yes, but no one's been here in ages. He draws a stripe on the dusty floor with his foot. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have the flashlight on us. Don't forget to take it out of your bag before we move on. Perception. Some specks of dust shimmer in a faint beam of daylight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark. Inland Empire. An eerie feeling raises in your chest. What if there's a reason no one's been in here for ages? Let's just keep going on. I'm sure it gets a regular abandoned house. There's nothing more mysterious here. Torch. How do we get our torch out? Okay, cool. We don't need any of that. What's this item? Oh, that's the pen that Kim gave us, reluctantly. Okay. Sand is dripping from a punch bag. I do like that. Oh, look, the light follows where the mouse goes. I like that. Yes, I know, lighting effects, very futuristic, but it's very cool. The poster says Citrus Fortis, the rest have worn off. Worn out war bars, they look unsafe. A barbell lies on the floor, the colour has worn off its weight plates. Physical instrument, it's 60 kilos. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast is dealing with it. Lift them. There are no colours on... Oh, yeah, sorry. Look, there are no collars on the bar. We have no... We have no... Sorry, I was reading at the same time. We have no... barely anything in strength. You're right, the weights may fall off. Better not touch them. What kind of boss would just remove the collars? It should be a felony. Yeah. It would be a violation of EPA safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it's not. No one's supposed to come here. Alright. Yeah, we don't have much in physical... oh, we've got one. But, because we wanted to enjoy healthy organs. But 17%. I will pass. Oh, sorry. I will pass on that. Oops, sorry, I don't need to click on that again. Alright, what else do we have? Oh, okay, I just found out you can zoom in and out with the mouse. Clearly I'm all over it. Smells like leather and sweat. Alright, let's go up the stairs. The hallway's blocked by old window panes and debris. Well, that's not creepy. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Oh, mannequins. Oh, look at the shadows. That's cool. I like that. Airship rotors covered in spiderwebs. They remind you of blades. I'm really digging this lighting effect. Let's have a look. A naked mannequin torso, a strange yellow colour. But where are the clothes it's used to display? What have we got here? More money! Thank you, I'll take that. Got to pay off our debt to the place. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth-bitten. What have we got? Skis with slipstreams printed on the laminated top layer. I do like that it's got these things here, but it's also got items you can interact with which aren't noticeable. It makes you need to explore to get more. Steel rotor blades bearing slipstream logo. Conceptualization. Looked like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. I don't get it. Look, the skis and the rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. It seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, then pivoted to producing the other. The question is, which did they start with? And which did they pivot to? That's a good question. And yet you still failed. How sad. This is speculative, we don't know anything for sure. Not quite. You do know that there's something unusual about the company business model. More money. Production schedule. Filament memory. This cube, like crisscrosses in filaments, feels oddly fragile in your hand. Its intricate structure covered in dust. Silver tape on the side read, production schedule. Note, this filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer. Alright. Here we go. Project Jahred board. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbled sketches and schemes like an ancient cave mural. Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. Let's have a look at the drawings. These lithe, pointed-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkind. You make out autumnal candle welkind casted wax-based magic. Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona, no longer a mere man, but a welkin. One of the welkins towering among the rest appears to be different, however. We may as well have a look. It's Varahamura, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a Welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-Welkin races will be purged. The Holder, the Dwog, the humans, and even the Headless Men, of all of them, purged. Imagine a world filled only with Welkin. Green Welkin, Dread Welkin, and the High Welkin to rule them all. The Lieutenant can help but comment. An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little Welkin creatures. Let's have a look. Why would anyone spend so much time? Some people really like building a world. I think even if it's just for a game. Let's move on. Let's have a look at the photos. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees groaning under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds abandoned in a storm, animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. Encyclopedia. You see primitive oil rags built into the glaciers by boreal dwarg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Electrochemistry. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much needed respite from our own world. Let's have a look at the schedule. This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily, minimi, and GPI span markers drawn grid. The grand scheme of production and money. Perception. It only looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Encyclopedia. Minimi stands for mini meeting. Thank you. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called Run. Section 41 tried to implement it a few years ago. Section 41 tried it a few years ago but failed. Keep reading what happened. As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region. The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice fields and nothingness and concludes, looks like they didn't make it. A note on the bottom left corner of the chalk says, "Sees prod schedule filament for details." Inspect the notes. The handwriting is only partly legible, but you come to still make out three slogans: call in, tune out, we're all untethered, and heat death of the universe. Perception. The full text reads, heat death of the universe is the new black. The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s. Alright, well, that was fine. Let's have a look. Frequency fireplace. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue-red markers, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels in alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. Conceptualization. The whole thing resembles Kedron mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. Hold on, how do I know Kedron mosaic tiles were supposed to look like? History class. Students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. These are coral blue tiles look beautiful in the sun. What am I looking at? Radio frequencies, it seems. Blah, 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 blah. Some written notes too, sparse and cryptic. Radio frequencies for what? Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. The anatomy of the curse. I don't think so. Must be dealing with an elaborate piece of art. You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations. All lead back to one heart titled The Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station at once. They must have had massive air width. Things don't come cheap. If it's a game, then who's playing? Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the station suggests people across 6 isolas would be playing. Mundi, Insalind, Katla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. Logic. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull off anything like that. My god, the lieutenant leans closer, finger tracking the maddening. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Why do you say that? The schedule. He nods at the calendar on the chalkboard, wiping his marker stained finger clean. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding. What else? Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from a time long ago. No one's used the fireplace in ages. Scribbled across the notebook, developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. Disco Elysium. Ooh, what's that? Mainframe. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a reticular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer. A radio computer, says the lieutenant, watching you circle around the machine. Just sitting here without anyone in sight. He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. Reaction speed. What he means is they think costs money. Why would anyone just leave them behind? But we're looking for a fridge and we're pressed on time, so... On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers. Interfacing. This is the RIM Civic Radio Computer Model RC5120 equipped with field failed mainframe, and a RAM-compatible printer. Let's just turn it on. Let's look inside the compartment. It's empty, like a beehive without brood. Some cables have been left tangling disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside. Let's insert it. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play button starts blinking. A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. The static gets louder, slowing, filling up the abandoned hall until the voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air. Good afternoon, Fortress Accident on Redu St. Ghislaine. This is East India Repeater Station 1. I'm sorry for butchering almost every word in that sentence. Please repeat. This is production schedule. What's the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Alright, thanks for the explanation. That was a question. Have you inserted into the core? Yes. Good. Please repeat the password. Password. Of course, it would have a password. That's why there's a human administrator involved. Can you give me a hint? No. A hint system is not part of protocol for repeater stations. I don't know the password. Received. I'll register this login attempt. Don't worry, passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later. Alright. That's all for now. Thank you and goodbye. Alright, we're going to come back when we've got the... let's take it with us. What does print do? What if we insert it and then hit print? Nothing happens. Okay. We're going to take it with us. And we'll come back to that one with the password. I think leaving it there... Oh, here we go. Kim wants to talk again. Yes, Kim.
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Someone tried to accept the curse using technology. Looks like Anglican reset program. It's just a failed business question. I don't think it's any of those. Let's say it's undercover counterintelligence. No, that's not it, I think. Newton takes a step back, steepling his hands, like he's ready to lay out fine theory crafted together like a puzzle box. It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games, only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers. How were they planning on doing that? Through call-in stations, he nods at the fireplace. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, so long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that's supposed to coordinate these stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts. Interfacing. Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies. Has anyone done this before? Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Grad, Messina, Cognistine, places with industry. Not in Revolche West, among the ruins. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create into a Solari game before. We just don't have the technology. And this is a role-playing game? Indeed. These Welkins are dead giveaway. He points to the chalkboard. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of Wiriel board game with the heat death thrown in. Conceptualization. Super cool. Someone should give them millions of real immediately. This game's too good to be left unfinished. And what do you think happened to the company? No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard. Indeed, it's ambitious, untethered from reality, but... world is cold known. This will keep company. They were insane if they thought they could do this. Yes, especially in here. Kim looks around the derelict room, the pipe tower, and rats crosses the floor in front of your feet. Okay, let's keep moving. Alright, thanks Kim. Now, we were going to go in here. What's down? We've got two rooms. There's a room over there. I thought we need to get into the basement. We're only going up. Alright, well, before we go up, we'll have a look in this one. Let's go... It looks like there's the polar bear. Alright, well, we're here. We'll deal with this, and then we can go upstairs and have a look. What's this one? Magnesium. I'll take that. Thank you. Money. Thank you. Central furnace. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, colouring pitch black. Kimwa's thing, is it a furnace? Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. He opens the door and gingerly peeks inside. No one is used in ages. No sign of any recent fire, only dead rats. Let's have a look inside. It's dark and grimy. In the darkness you can hear chatter. It's coming from above. A voice or several voices talking to each other near the smoke chamber upstairs. Hearing. The echo is so prominent it's impossible to discern what the voices are saying or what's producing them. What are you doing? The lieutenant asks to see if we climb halfway inside the furnace. I'm not sure, Kim, but I think I can hear someone talking upstairs. Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs. The voices I heard, maybe it's the malignant entity. Pallison said it lives in the chimney. Yell into the furnace. We don't want to yell because it's so hard. Like with, you know, like roleplay games, kind of, you just click on every option. The wall collapse isn't accessible now. You click on every option to get all the information. But here, that's not what you want to do, because it might end it. If you do that, the option might not be there. I suppose this is a true role-playing game. You see a terrified ice bear with strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing. The bear looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? Reaction speed. This must be the fridge you were told about. Look inside, see if it's big enough for the corpse. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to greet you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. Relax, Kim. It's the fridge, remember? Of course, a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in the half-light of the open fridge door. Just what we're looking for. Let's see what's inside. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers with a brand name, Revolche Ice Cream. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. Let's take the note from the door. Now we can't click on it at the moment. Examine one of the ice cream wrappers. A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from glossy cell phone wrapper. Looks nothing like the fridge. Perception. The paper still smells of vanilla and chocolate. This clearly fridge looks big enough for 2 corpses. It's certainly an eccentric choice, but it is capacious and cold enough too. Your visual confirms you could fit 2 more bodies in the ice bear fridge. Shall we go and get the body then? You take the head, I'll take the feet, and the stairs won't be easy, but we'll manage. Alright, let's do this. The body is heavier than you expected and stinkier. It takes half an hour to get it down to the basement and 10 more minutes to stuff it in the fridge. The lieutenant takes a step back to admire your handiwork. Beautiful, he says, wiping his hands on his handkerchief. A dead body in an ice bear fridge is some of the best police work I've ever done. I'm not sure I believe you. Of course you don't. Look at that, what we've done. We've stuffed a dead body in an ice bear fridge. This does not leave this room. We did the best with what's out. Did we though? Or maybe we did. At least we stopped the body from decomposing further. Now you can conduct another inspection under controlled circumstances. It's still low. Maybe we don't have a choice. Oh yes. Your arm reaches out and your eyes close, if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery, flesh. First with your fingertips, then under the palm, your hand. What is this? His face, his cheeks, his nose, his flat swollen lip. Like a spider, your hand crawl over his features. Everything is silent. Crawl up his nostrils. Put your finger in his mouth. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches the mouth, lolling back like a scallop. Feels right. Touch something else. His nostrils. They're swollen shut. You really need to push to get in. I'm sorry, but our guy's a weirdo. Only a little one fits. The flesh changed shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage. The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Squeeze his nose. You pick it up between your fingers. The mass feels large. It's very porous. Somehow, keep crawling lets you break it. Play with this, feels right. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. We don't even have gloves on. From the soft meat, teeth, budding hard pearls of bone and gums, and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaw open now, look in. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open in your naked hands, studded with teeth. Look, he's laughing, death fumes rising from the throat. And there in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate, you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It's swollen shut, almost vanished, no larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius. The edges appear darkened. Visual calculus. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after. Say abrasion collar. Abrasion collar. Kim looks in. There's a pen in his hand. His notebook is open. Copy the paper. Touch it with your finger gently. A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Put your finger in. God. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth right into his brainstem. Let's feel around. The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What's entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again, never wake. Push deeper. Your fingers slide into the remains of the limbic system. There's no resistance, it's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep in both hemispheres. There's a cavity right between the hemispheres. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen and paper. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching towards the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow. Wiggle in. Your fingers reach towards his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly, cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger. Sharp, serrated material, the edges cut right in. 92. I feel a solid object right under the skull. Inspect the skull first. There's a tiny crack of protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your fingers must be pointing straight at it from inside. Visual calculus. The object that's here stopped just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium. We have the markings of a very small exit wound here. Let's fish it out. You pick the object between your index and middle finger. It feels sharp like metal. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just slowly pull your fingers out. The inside of the head feels cold and smooth like a glove as you pull out, sweat dripping down your brow, careful not to lose the prize between your fingers. With a plop, your hand emerges from the mouth covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead. A bullet! The lieutenant puts a small bag marked evidence under it. Drop it in. The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood and plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says, unknown caliber, rifles, some kind of brittle alloy, fractured on impact. Keep it, Lieutenant, as a gift. No, you deserve it. We can log it later. Lieutenant drops the bag into your bloody hand. Feels light. He turns to his notebook. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of the mouth. High velocity, temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. He underlines the injury fossil. How does that sound? Sounds about right. Opinion, fatal injury. Yes, agreed. Click, click goes the pen. And one last thing, we should amend injury number 3, ligament mark. New opinion, non-fatal, post-mortem treatment. He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging and attempt to conceal this fact. Treatment. The ligament marks, the fractured hyoid bones was all treatment. Yes, and the belt around his neck, the hanging, even dragging him into the yard. All of it was done for this man was already dead. You think so? I did not just come up with this. I've had my doubts since you showed me the tracks, officer. Why did they carry him over? Why not march him? There's no satisfactory explanation. I'm sorry, Kim. When we mentioned that, you said no. You said it wasn't worth mentioning. And now you're trying to take credit. Alright. Secret task completed. Find the bullet before you get fooled. Thank you very much. Level up. There's been another sign too. Small details. Everything is too neatly designed for us to assign probable cause here, as we did full-heartedly. Well, no more. Logic. There is of course the very real possibility that he was both shot and hanged. Maybe they shot him while they hanged him. To put him out of his misery, he thinks, as possible, but does not explain all the other dubious things here. Lack of struggle primarily. I may be intellectually sloppy, but I prefer one theory at a time, and this just smacks of treatment to me. Who would do this? That's for us to find out, but this will make finding them just a little easier. I think I need to wash myself. Yes. Oh, you nods. You really, really do. I'm glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirlingham Rag should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening. Why would anyone do this? To hide something. The real killer. The real motivation. What really happened here? Sorry, I just hiccuped. Maybe the bullet holds more answers. Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I'm certain it has more to tell us. Hand-eye coordination. This little thing could reveal much more about the weapon that shot it. What happens next? We put him in a bag and carry him to the holding pen of my Kanima. The body bag should contain the odor for the duration of the transport. I would drive him to processing, but it's too late in the day to do that. I'll do it first thing tomorrow, no problem. One more thing. This was really good work, detective. Tell me something, dead man. Is my name Rooney? Fuck no, you're no Rooney. Alright. Between you and me, your name is probably Harry. No, it can't be Harry. I refuse. Alright, enough. I'm not going to get into an argument with the thing. What is a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place? Good question. It looks like an ice cream fridge. The attendant reaches for one of the other rabbits. He studied it. So they tried to sell ice cream from the hypercarnivore. I know. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What's even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day. The lieutenant points at the red sneaky cable running from the fridge. The electricity bill must be catastrophic. On the other hand, it did help us with certain corpse situation. Interfacing. Indeed, refrigerated meat is much better for the coroner's work. Alright. Let's drag him. Alright. He takes out a shiny black body bag and starts pulling the plastic out of the dead man's face. I will need a little help carrying him. You take the heads, and I'll take the legs. Good work, everyone. Good work. Very graphic. And detailed, but I like it. You can put your torch away now. We don't need that anymore. We probably should put our gloves on, but we can't have it all, can we? Handwritten note from the fridge. Here we go. The note's written with blue pencil on a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on the surface. Does it say anything interesting? The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder. Esprit de corps. This is tangent at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Read the note. Someone has scribbled, S, I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff from the studio, so I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory of the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home ASAP. It's important. I do keep it if I I'd do it myself if I'd lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care. I wonder who wrote that note. Looks like someone from the radio game company upstairs. I'm a little surprised they just left their property lying here. Maybe they'd leave in a hurry. Plausible hypothesis. We know who the little ginger kid will be. Kuno. Really? Lieutenant looks at them. You don't have a single clue. You mean Kuno. Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory. Even if he doesn't know what to do with it, he'd probably try to pawn it for speed based on our encounter. Do you have any idea where the frozen ice cream maker would be? I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge. Alright. Let's have a look at the bullet as well. The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, date and location the bullet was found. What do I do with the bullet? What? I said, what do I do with you, bullet? Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon that shot me. Good idea. If we find who owns it, we'll know who have likely used it, possibly to kill our victim. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better. Feel the bullet through the bag. The squash bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold even through the bag. Encyclopedia. You wouldn't ordinarily have cause to handle jacketed bullets. The citizens' militia uses cast bullets, only little pebbles of metal loaded from the muzzle, usually in a cartridge. Inspect the bullet closer. The jacket of the bullet is made of yellowish metal. It's blossomed to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5mm in diameter. Look at the jacket. You can just about make it a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairlines, linear. It feels standard. And the core? It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments are still lodged in the wound. What can you say about the bullet so far? Jacketed bullet close to 5mm in diameter. A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have to be shot from a military grade breech loading rifle, not from a muzzle loader like these typically found on the streets of Martinique. Encyclopedia. Highly unusual. The people of Revolche haven't carried breech loading weapons like this for nearly half a century. Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is very strange, very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find that gunshot. 28. Well, we got the 28 last time. This is a white check you may retry. See, that's important. I think going forward, we have to see whether they're white checks or not. So we can retry this if we fail. You can't remember what happened last week. What makes you think you're going to remember arcane firearm models? Alright. Alright. Let's have a look. Wash off the death, the smell, find the murder weapon. Oh, we went up a level. Now, we have been focusing... There was a thing in one of the loading screens that said if you want more health, put it in endurance. But we've been okay with health so far. Reaction speed seems to be doing us well. Maybe some composure. What have we got? We've got 2 here and we've got 3 up here. So we've got visual calculus, rhetoric, or rhetoric. Sorry, I kept saying rhetoric last time. Rhetoric and logic. Composure. Not crack in front of other people. Put up a strong front. Keeps your emotions hidden. And helps you read body language of others. Keeps you looking good while you do it. Savoir-faire urges you to be better than you are. It urges you to be disco. Sit by others in Samarian boxing style. Oh yeah, we looked at that one. Reaction speed. Agility of your body and your mind. It's instincts. More streetwise, never be lost for word or lost for a witty comeback. Enables you to catch coins from mob bosses, shoot straight, understand firearms intimately. Let's go... let's go this one. No, actually no. Instinct. Streetwise. Let's do this one. Cool, okay. Alright. Where are we at? Let's wrap this episode up there. We'll go back to that building and do a bit more snooping around. I think having that body cleared away... What time is it? 7 on day 1. And we've run that end of the day briefly. That happens at 10. 2200. So we'll leave that for now. We've had a look at everything here that we can. I'll interact with the mug. It's just a rated mug. What's there to read here? It's slided off to read into actually look at all that content. Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about the broken toss away mug that you dug out of the garbage? The mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use an example of what not to do. I'm going to push in the face of every merchant I find and tell them this is your insane ideology. The mug will be useful. By denouncing it, I can earn political capital. Mask my badass hustling. The mug didn't belong in the trash. It was just a funny mug. Can't anyone laugh anymore? Is this like some secret item? I'm going to give an example of what not to do. I don't know. Tell them what not to do. So again, you dug it out of the trash. Why? It wasn't going to offend anyone there. Why don't you just go back to your case? Alright, well that did nothing. Yeah, so we'll wrap it up here. We'll head back to that building, see if we can find some other stuff, that freezer that they were talking about. We also have quite a few tasks left to do. God, we've got so much to do. But anyway, done. Okay. Thanks very much for watching. If you've got any advice about the channel or any suggestions about what I should be putting the level up points into, or if there's something I'm missing horribly or anything like that, please let me know in the comments. I'd really love your feedback. But apart from that, thanks for watching and I will catch you next time.